Welcome back. We are now going to deliver letters. Varka's letters. The angel. We're delivering Varka's letter to Idiluk, who's an angel's share. Let's begin.
When you're mixing drinks in hot weather, start by pouring in cold water and add ice cubes. Then drain out the water before adding the other ingredients. How's that for a secret recipe? Maybe it's worth a little intel in return.
Please. I've known that little trick for a good 10 years at least.
Aww.
You'll have to offer something a little more substantial if you're serious about trading.
Nice try, Kaya. You couldn't fool Rosaria.
I know there's no one else in the tavern right now, but do you two really need to talk so loudly? Especially if you're supposed to be exchanging confidential information.
Right on, Diluc.
Kaya! Rosaria! Diluc! Paimon knew we'd find you here.
Looks like it's about to get even noisier.
A little liveliness never killed anyone. Traveler, Paimon, what brings you our way?
Please allow me to once again express my sincere condolences regarding your late father and the incident with Eric. We make absolutely no excuse for his crimes.
Ouch.
I hope you will give some serious consideration to the question I asked you before I left, though I'm sure you're tired of hearing me ask by now. The Knights of Favonius will always welcome you.
Aww.
From the look on your face, I'm guessing the Grand Master is still refusing to drop it?
He nags like an old man. It's hardly surprising.
Aww.
Huh? Drop what?
Nothing, really. Before leaving on the expedition, Varka came here to chat with me over a drink. I failed to avoid him.
Okay.
He, asked me if I'd consider rejoining the Knights of Favonius, and I declined. He expressed his regret about everything that happened, and asked me to reconsider. That's all there is to it.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Sounds like you skipped a lot of details. There's clearly more to it.
Whatever details I chose to omit are in the past. Dragging them back up now serves no purpose.
Dragging up an ugly piece of the past does serve no purpose.
You say that now, but back then, you couldn't let it go. You and the Knights of Favonius were constantly at odds.
I wasn't seeing the full picture. I've had a lot of time to reflect since then. But my answer remains unchanged. I'm not rejoining the Knights of Favonius. Both the Grandmaster and the acting Grandmaster are too upright and honorable.
Oh.
I can't see the shadows that lurk beneath them due to the size of the organization they lead. They need someone on the outside to keep watch vigilantly.
If I had a Mora for every time I've heard you repeat that argument. I actually don't disagree with the first part of what you said. But don't you think someone can keep tabs on things from the inside?
When you join an organization, you're bound by its rules, no matter how free it may seem on the surface.
Sorry, it makes a
You
point.
think so? Never mind the Knights. Have you honestly ever been bound by the rules of the Church?
Good question. Have you considered that maybe that's why I chose to join the Church and not the Knights to begin with?
Very well said.
Are they arguing or not? It's kind of hard to tell.
They're having different ways of protecting those around them.
Oh, kind of like the contingencies Jean was talking about. The more ways they have to protect their home, the better. Huh?
Well said.
Traveler?
I wonder if this is exactly what Varka was hoping for. I wonder if this is exactly what Varka was hoping for. Beautiful. Whatever. Okay.
If you hadn't had to deliver that guy's mail, you wouldn't have been subjected to all this tedious arguing. When I write back, I'll tell him to quit making trouble for other people.
It's no trouble. Lowen did most of the work. We just volunteered to do the last leg of the journey. Mostly so we could come say hello.
Besides, I wouldn't really call that an argument.
So you see what's really going on here? All three of us fell for that old rascal's scheme far too readily.
Huh? Scheme? What do you mean? Was Varka lying in his letters then?
No. While I'm sure Varka knows full well that Diluc would never agree to rejoin the Knights, I believe the sentiments he expressed were genuine, as was his offer to welcome. There are people like Kaya and I, and then there are those who are true champions of justice to the core. Those people are the most susceptible to being driven to extremes by great upheaval. It's happened in Mondstadt before. Not only that, but it happened to a Knight of Boreas. That'll really hit home for Varka. And that's why his nagging is even more persistent than usual.
A champion of justice during the extremes.
So no one's told you this before? The lineage of the Knights of Boreas has nearly been extinguished twice in history. The first was at its inception. The second was the case I was alluding to.
Oh! Wasn't Jean telling us about this? Wait, and then we got caught up talking about the expedition, and we never got around to the second time.
I happened to hear about it from Varka once when he was drinking and started yammering on. The second crisis in the Knights of Boreas lineage. It was 500 years ago. Although the Knights of Boreas are meant to be intermediaries between humans and wolves, in practice, very few of them have been truly recognized by Lupus Boreas over the past millennium. Of those who have, the best known are the first Knight of Boreas, Ravenwood, the wolf pup Rostam, and Varka himself. But 500 years ago, there was one who earned the respect of Boreas even before gaining the title. He was a disciple of Rostam. They thought he would become the mightiest Knight of Boreas who ever lived. He was the perfect knight. Righteous, principled. His name was Roland, the blood-stained knight.
Roland, the bloodstained knight.
Yikes! Bloodstained Knight? That sounds a little ominous.
Well, apparently his original title was the White Knight. But he lost countless comrades during the Abyssal Calamity 500 years ago, including his tutor and mentor, Rostam. The endless bloodshed stained his sword and armor a crimson as deep as black, transforming the White Knight into the blood-stained knight.
Ah, I see.
After that, he threw himself completely into battling monsters, leaving Mondstadt and the Knights of Favonius behind. To this day, no one knows his final whereabouts. It's hard to say whether the loss of an important figure in his life is what drove him to the point of obsession, or whether he was already too far gone to save. But had he known that the Knights of Favonius would always welcome him back, perhaps things would have turned out differently. So if you want my opinion, the reason why Varka keeps asking Diluc to rejoin, despite knowing that he'll never say yes, is to let him know you're not alone. After all these years, he's still as persistent as ever. Just like how he used to be with me.
Huh. Turns out Varka's a lot more thoughtful than he lets on. Paimon had the wrong idea about him.
So if you want my opinion, the reason why Varka keeps asking Diluc to rejoin, despite knowing that he'll never say yes, is to let him know you're not alone. It's hard to say whether the loss of an important figure in his life is what drove him to the point of obsession, or whether he was already too far gone to save.
Anyway, there's still something about this whole Boreas business that Paimon isn't really getting. Wasn't Andreas a god in Mondstadt thousands of years in the past? If so, why did Jean say that Boreas and the Wandering Knight only arrived here just 1,000 years ago? Plus, Paimon's super curious about what happened to Roland. That's a great idea! Gene said he hasn't been showing himself much lately, but he always seems happy to oblige whenever you show up. Let's go!
I need to learn to handle my booze
my
better.
friend. Why?
Even if you are a close friend.
My reply won't be a long one. As usual. I'm sure Varka won't be surprised.
Of course.
What should I report back to the Grand Master on? Let me think. Public order inside the city? Monster activity in the wild? Oh, and a review of the latest vintages. I think I'll leave it at that.
Okay. What's going on here?
What's going on here? Was Wolfendom always like this? Paimon has a bad feeling about this. The Wild Hunt! What are they doing here? Watch out!
Uh-oh.
No more love. It all ends up. Bring it.
That's a close one.
Are you alright? Oh no! What now? There better not be more Wild Hunt monsters! You scared.
Stop right there! Answer me this. The 2 letters I gave you, who are they for?
2 letters? Wasn't it 3?
There are 3. Kaya either resign.
Well, Paimon's coolest naive expression doesn't appear to be an act.
Hey! What are you trying to say? Wait, what
He's-
are you trying to say?
he's saying the
She
pass-
passed a test? Really? Huh! She didn't even realize she was taking...
You may dispense with your suspicions. The wolf pack has borne witness. They fought against the aberrations that encroached upon this land. And our attackers showed no ability to disguise themselves. Ah, a familiar scent. Come. I will await you at the usual grounds.
Well, if the boss of Wolfendom has vouched for you, I guess I should apologize for doubting you just now.
It always pays your own business.
Fortunately, my experience in Nod-Krai didn't go to waste. Turns out the Wild Hunt all feel the same when you stab them. They didn't stand a chance. Something seems wrong with that old wolf, though. Go on, you should check on him.
Let's do this. Let's go then. Do.
Lupus Boreas, not injured. Why so weak? Am I not strong enough?
You are not to blame. With your Iron Claw, you successfully blocked their attacks. However, their assault went beyond the mere physical world. They followed my trail from the distant north across the ley lines. They sought to corrupt the territory I protect. But I shall not let them succeed without a fight.
A chill storm from the north. So they came for Nod-Krai?
Meet again, human Lupicon.
So, are you saying that the wild hunt we just got attacked by came all the way from Nod-Krai to Mondstadt? How is that even possible?
As you know, I stand before you as an incomplete being. I am but one remnant of the god Andreas' soul, the source of this turmoil. I can sense it. It lies in the north. It is the part of me that remains in Nod-Krai, from whence I came.
Huh? Now Paimon's even more confused. How can he be in two places at once?
Did you, like, split yourself into multiple parts?
For many gods, housing a part of their soul within an object is no difficult feat. But those who can perform such delicate partitions as this are rare, even among the gods. The Wolf King, Andreas, was particularly adept in this art. Otherwise, no remnants of his soul would have survived till the present day.
Huh? The bard's back?
Toad Bard? What are you...
Maybe the god of Animo guided me here. For it appears that someone is in need of a tale from the distant past. And our wolf friend doesn't seem too keen on recounting it himself. Who better than a bard to do the honors? Lord Boreas, do I have your blessing to share this story?
As you wish.
Lupus Boreas wandered the frozen tundra and stumbled into the Sealy Hall. Enchanted by their song, tender as the dawn starlight, and curious about the ways of humankind, the wolf bade farewell to his home and set off for the city to the south.
Aww.
As the high tower crumbled and the fierce winds fell silent, Lupus Boreas, who once had hunted with the storm winds himself, looked within and inquired, was the shelter he provided for humanity really any different from that given by the reclusive king in his tower? The wolf entrusted those under his protection to a new god and quietly returned to the frozen north. There, in a palace long since abandoned by its former master, the great wolf closed his eyes and slept. 500 bitter winters passed, then 500 equally frigid springs. He slumbered undisturbed until a night stumbled in from the cold, just as Lupus Boreas had once done at the Sealy Hall, and awoke him at long last. The night asked the wolf to join him on a journey south, to see once more the land that had all but faded from his memory. The gentle wolf, unwilling to refuse the human's earnest plea, split his soul into two halves and left his home once more. Seeing how the ice and snow had given way to verdant plains, hearing the laughter and song that now filled the once somber city, the aging Lupus Boreas turned to his friend, the god of Animo, and remarked, "So, this is the world the humans dreamed of." Though the night's journey was not yet over, the wolf chose to bid farewell to his companion here.
Aww.
He had written the end to his story, What knowledge he had been gifted flowed into the land. Everything he was, he gave unto the world.
I see.
Well, that's how a bard would tell the tale. Lord Boreas, is there anything you'd like to add?
There is no need for you to ask that question.
So that's what happened. You returned to Mondstadt with that knight 1,000 years ago, and then, for the sake of the new Mondstadt, you...
You need not feel remorse on my account. That was my answer, my decision.
I see.
If anyone should feel regret, it is the part of me who remained in Nod-Krai. I fear Andreas has not found peace in his heart even to this day.
Aw.
That is surely why those vile aberrations were able to exploit his weakness, sowing the seeds of all the turbulence that has ensued.
But we followed Boreas' trail in Nod-Krai. We investigated and discovered no signs of instability.
Andreas should still be slumbering by the lakeside. Perhaps all the recent turmoil in Nod-Krai has had unforeseen consequences. And there's more. I detect another familiar scent from across the ley lines. A scent that reeks of blood.
Oh, the White Knight who became the Bloodstained Knight? The mightiest knight of Boreas? But wasn't he from 500 years ago? You think he's immortal or something?
I remember him as just a man. His lifespan should be no longer than any other of his kind. But before he severed his connection to Boreas, his final destination, it was the ancient kingdom of Conria, as you call it. Beyond that, I know not if he lived or died.
Kind of 5 years
Once I get
ago.
to the bottom of this, I'm afraid you'll have to make another trip to Nod-Krai yourself. As luck would have it, another old friend of ours just so happens to be free right now. If you ask him nicely, he might give you a lift. That could save you a lot of time on the road.
No wonder I can suddenly sense the east wind's presence.
If even Mondstadt has been affected by the fallout, Nod-Krai must be in real trouble by now. I hope Varka can handle it.
Varka? Is he in danger?
I believe too many passengers would slow our dear friend down. I fear he only has room to carry one person, along with perhaps a diminutive companion.
I understand. I'll go.
Alright. Wish it could be me, but I accept that we should send our strongest warrior to fight Nod-Krai's battles. I'll stay here and deal with any wild hunt that try harassing Mondstadt. It'll be a good chance to try out some new moves.
I stay in Mondstadt too. With Traveler's help, Varka will be safe.
Razor, give me your iron. Golden-haired traveler, give this token to the current knight of Boreas.
What is this?
It is a wolf spirit. It contains my power and thoughts. Though I have given him a piece before, this should bring him new strength.
The Dominator of Wolves once bestowed the power of his soul upon his pack. strengthening their hearts and sharpening their claws and fangs.
But human hearts and flesh cannot bear the soul of a wolf directly. It would be akin to forcefully merging a human and a wolf into one being. They would descend into chaos and prevent the entanglement of souls. The most I can do is temporarily house my power and thoughts within claws and fangs wrought of steel. Although, truth be told, that knight does not lack for power. What he needs more is the thoughts within. But I shall leave this for him to explain.
Safe to separate a piece of the wolf spirit like this?
The great wolf king of the north remains strong for now. Besides, do I not have the protection of my Lupacol?
I will protect Lupacol. The North and Varka, I leave to you.
Just give me the word whenever you're ready.
I can read Varka's letter. I will try my best to write a reply.
A wolf's claws make poor instruments for writing human words. But that token will suffice to convey my thoughts.
Understood.
I sure didn't expect my experience fighting the wild-hunted Nod-Krai to come in handy back here in Mondstadt. Almost makes me wonder if this was the reason I was sent back. Also, how come that bard knows so much, and what was he doing at the Thousand Winds Temple? Well, whatever. I don't really care. As long as I get to do some fighting. I'm looking forward to trading blows with Lupus Boreas when he's fully recovered. I bet he'll wipe the floor with me.
Any questions before you set off? Better ask now. You'll probably have to hit the ground running when you get to Nod-Krai.
About Roland.
100 years ago, Roland seemed destined to become the mightiest knight of Boreas ever to have lived. But he was too pure of heart.
Too pure of
He
heart?
believed firmly in his own ideals of chivalry, vowing to eliminate all injustice from the world. But the world had never been perfect and pure. Nor would it ever be. Neither his mentor, the wolf pup Rostam, nor the Grand Master, known as the Lion of Light, could persuade him to temper his obsession. But what was the scent that reeks of blood that Lupus Boreas sensed? And what is its connection to Conria and the Abyss? Perhaps you will uncover the truth in Nod-Krai. Any questions before you set off? Better ask now. You'll probably have to hit the ground running when you get to Nod-Krai.
It's just gonna say, like, if you're stressed, just pretend everyone's in their underwear. Not gonna lie.
The soul of a wolf is as unyielding as ice, and Andreas is a master of molding and shaping it. His people once drew great strength and wisdom from the wolf spirit. But human hearts and flesh cannot contain the soul of a god. Attempting to place the wolf spirit in a human vessel would slowly devour their sense of self, even if Lupus Boreas did not intend for that to happen. That's why Lupus Boreas developed the technique of imbuing weapons with his soul. It is his way of blessing his human Lupacol with the wolf spirit's protection. In fact, there is an ancient song that tells this tale. A weapon once of common iron, now through friendship turned divine, 'Twixt man and wolf, a bond was made, a power born within the blade. As much as he might claim not to accept humans, his actions sing a different tune. Oh, but keep that little observation between us, will you? Any questions before you set off? Better ask now. You'll probably have to hit the ground running when you get to Nod-Krai. The soul of a wolf is as unyielding as ice, and Andreas is a master of molding and shaping it. His people once drew great strength and wisdom from the wolf spirit. But human hearts and flesh cannot contain the soul of a god. Attempting to place the wolf spirit in a human vessel would slowly devour their sense of self, even if Lupus Boreas did not intend for that to happen. That's why Lupus Boreas developed the technique of imbuing weapons with his soul. It is his way of blessing his human Lupical with the wolf spirit's protection. In fact, there is an ancient song that tells this tale. A weapon once of common iron, now through friendship turned divine. 'Twixt man and wolf a bond was made, a power born within the blade. As much as he might claim not to accept humans, his actions sing a different tune. Oh, but keep that little observation between us, will you? Any questions before you set off? Better ask now. You'll probably have to hit the ground running when you get to Nod-Krai.
Well, okay.
I'm good. Let's go.
All right. Over to you, Dvalin.
The Knight of Boreas awaits below. We must part ways here. Barbatos and I have other plans. We will meet you again later.
Thank you, Dvalin. Take care, my...
Wait, how are we getting down?
Hello! Enter the fray. Okay.
Hold the line! The enemy's on the brink of collapse!
Grandmaster!
Haha! Reinforcements! It's about time!
Honorary Knight, reporting for duty.
I'm on too.
What's the situation?
About hanging in there. Most of their grunts are taken care of now. Their leader's gonna have to make a decision soon. Fight or flight? What will it be, mightiest Knight of Boreas?
As expected, this hastily summoned Wild Hunt horde is nothing but a disorganized rabble. A mere shadow of the forces gathered by the Rahir of Solmare. But they have served their purpose. I now understand your tactics, and you, in turn, understand mine. This is fair. This is the way of chivalry. Farewell, heir to the knighthood of Boreas. Whether you choose to resist me or not, I shall set right the injustices of this world. In the name of the blood-stained knight.
Ouch.
Guess they're retreating for now.
So that Wolf of the North lookalike, that was Andreas? But why would he be leading the Wild Hunt? And why was he forget that. We can save the details for later. He was the enemy boss, right? Are we just gonna let him get away?
Ah, there's no point chasing after him. We've crossed blades already, and it ended in a stalemate. Right now, there's nothing we could do about him. True. We're still not certain of his true identity, but whether he's a god corrupted by the Abyss or a legendary knight, killing him might be just about possible, especially now that you're here. The difficult part is, we can't kill him right now.
Huh? What do you mean? Is he immortal immortal or something?
No. Judging from our skirmishes so far, I don't think he's got any special abilities of that caliber. Nor does he have the ridiculous level of power wielded by the Five Sinners. But, compared to Rerir, our current foe clearly has a better understanding of how to exploit Nod-Krai to his advantage. Particularly when it comes to Andrias' remnant soul.
So what you're really worried about isn't so much the enemy itself, but the god remains.
Exactly. Sounds like you realize what the crux of the issue is. I managed to cut off a sample from our foe, which Albedo and Durin are analyzing as we speak. Meanwhile, our other allies should be making their way home from their own battles by now. Let's discuss this further when you're back. We still have some big challenges ahead before this expedition can finally be declared a victory.
Let's do this. So maybe I'll peace out.